Hey, how's it going today, guys? This is Jeff coming to you from MAD, MMAD. And I want to talk to you guys today about some common issues that go on with YFZ heads. YZ, YFZR. A lot of them all have the same problems on the 5 valves. The YFZs, the earlier castings, have the problems the worst. For two reasons is that they're the oldest heads. They've been out there the longest. And they don't have some of the structural improvements that were made on the later heads. So what we'll do is we'll get into it here. One of the first things is the cam bearing. This problem's been around forever. It's been around as long as the bikes have. And this comes from over torquing the cam cap. A lot of people think that this comes from lack of oil to the top end. But when you look over here at the exhaust, you're going to see it's in really good shape. And so over the years of messing with them, we've, figured out pretty early on that it wasn't a lack of oil. It was over tightening this cam cap. They recommend, I think, somewhere along the lines of 7.5 foot-pounds of torque in the manual. We don't torque these that tight. We torque them to about 75 inch-pounds or a little over 6 foot-pounds. But this is a problem that's common. It's been around forever. And it's something that's very fixable, usually. Of course, you have to have the cam cap with it so that you can put it on there, deburr the whole thing, and rehone it. One of the next problems is warpage. You're going to see on this head here that you'll see the dark line right here. And these heads like to warp down the center, front to back like this. So this head's had like a deck sand done on it. You can see on the outside it's shiny both sides, but it's dark down the center from front to back. Oops. So that's pretty common too. If the bikes have ever been overheated, you'll see this happen. And then they'll start not wanting to hold head gaskets. And you'll have to have the head surfaced. One of the new causes to that same problem, and it's also just a new problem that's, I don't know what I'd call it new, but it's something that we've seen more recently, say the last 5 years, is these right front head bolt bosses starting to crack. And if I can get up here, see if we can see that. But they take off right in the corner of this spot face and they head down like that. And when they do that, they also, you'll start to feel this material out at the top start to pooch out. So if you look at this rear boss, it's very straight on the side. But as you look at this one that's got a crack, you'll start to see it pooch out. And even you'll start to see a strange wear pattern up where the head bolt washer was. So this repair, or this problem, is also repairable as well. It's something that, you do have to end up V'ing this whole area out, re-welding and spot facing it. But it's something we've definitely had to do more lately on cylinder heads. This head here has a better example. Much more visible. So you can see that's got a much bigger crack. It actually is cracking below the blue line. And if you look at the material, it's bulged out even farther. These are some things we wanted to show you. Strip bolts up here in the top where the cam caps are can be fairly common if people have over torqued the cam caps over the years. We don't recommend using foot-pound torque wrenches to do that. If you're going to try to torque these caps with a torque wrench of some nature, we definitely recommend an inch-pound torque wrench. I've seen a lot of these get over-torqued. These are things that we see on heads that customers send in that came off of running engines. You know, heads that they thought were perfectly fine, and then when we get them, we figure out they've got a host of little problems. You know, oh, they need the cam bearings repaired, they need a thread repair, they need this head bolt boss welded up, they need to be surfaced, yada yada yada. The later model heads off of the YZs and the YFZRs can have these same problems, but they're just not as common. You know, that cylinder head design is more robust. It has more material in it, some bigger bracing. They're about a pound heavier, and they're just newer. They haven't been out in the field as long. Just wanted to show you guys some of the things that you may find on your cylinder heads. They are repairable. You know, if you get cylinder heads that have too many problems, you know, that's when it warrants possibly looking for something better, but you kind of judge that on a case-to-case basis. So, hope you guys learned something from this, and have a good one.